Thank you very much. The members of Congress who are here, the members of the Cabinet and the administration, my fellow Americans. In recent weeks, I have begun a conversation with the American people about our fate and our duty to prepare our nation not only to meet the new century, but to live and lead in a world transformed to a degree seldom seen in all of our history. Much of this change is good, but it is not all good, and all of us are affected by it. Therefore, we must reach beyond our fears and our divisions to a new time of great and common purpose. Our challenge is twofold. First, to restore the American dream of opportunity and the American value of responsibility. And second, to bring our country together amid all our diversity into a stronger community so that we can find common ground and move forward as one. More than ever, these two endeavors are inseparable. I am absolutely convinced we cannot restore economic opportunity or solve our social problems unless we find a way to bring the American people together. To bring our people together, we must openly and honestly deal with the issues that divide us. Today, I want to discuss one of those issues, affirmative action. It is, in a way, ironic that this issue should be divisive today, because affirmative action began 25 years ago by a Republican president with bipartisan support. It began simply as a means to an end of enduring national purpose, equal opportunity for all Americans. So let us today trace the roots of affirmative action in our never-ending search for equal opportunity. Let us determine what it is and what it isn't. Let us see where it's worked and where it hasn't, and ask ourselves what we need to do now. Along the way, let us remember always that finding common ground as we move toward the 21st century depends fundamentally on our shared commitment to equal opportunity for all Americans. It is a moral imperative, a constitutional mandate, and a legal necessity. There could be no better place for this discussion than the National Archives, for within these walls are America's bedrocks of our common ground: the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights. No paper is as lasting as the words these documents contain, so we put them in these special cases to protect the parchment from the elements. No building is as solid as the principles these documents embodied, but we sure tried to build one with these metal doors 11 inches thick to keep them safe, for these documents are America's only crown jewels. But the best place of all to hold these words and these principles is the one place in which they can never fade and never grow old: in the stronger chambers of our hearts. Beyond all else, our country is a set of convictions. We hold these truths to be self-evident: that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Our whole history can be seen first as an effort to preserve these rights, and then as an effort to make them real in the lives of all our citizens. These are the great challenges for our whole country on the home front at the dawn of the 21st century. We've got to find the wisdom and the will to create family wage jobs for all of people who want to work, to open the door of college to all Americans, to strengthen families and reduce the awful problems to which our children are exposed, to move poor Americans from welfare to work. This is the work of our administration, to give people the tools they need to make the most of their own lives, to give families and communities the tools they need to solve their own problems. But let us not forget, affirmative action didn't cause these problems. It won't solve them, and getting rid of affirmative action certainly won't solve them. If properly done, affirmative action can help us come together, go forward, and grow together. It is in our moral, legal, and practical interest to see that every person can make the most of his own life. In the fight for the future, we need all hands on deck, and some of those hands still need a helping hand.